Okay, the house of quality is the essence of this overall QFD. I briefly mentioned that it is first developed by some engineers in Kobe Shipyard, Mitsubishi Heavy Industry, to keep the voice of customers throughout from the overall design process until the product is delivered to the customer. So, was it successful? Yes, of course. So many sectors of industry, government, I don't know, you mentioned it, are actually using some part of this concept in their everyday design process or, everyday work. Wherever the voices of customer matters to them. Okay? QFD is a disciplined planning process. It's a kind of systematic process that facilitate the identification and deployment of customers' wants and needs throughout a company as a basis for product planning, development, and implementation. QFD provides a system in which the voice of customer drives product planning, product design, process planning, process control planning, production, sales and service, marketing, and everything. Okay, that is well said. And now the keyword is the voices of customer. The voices are the synonym to needs and wants and requirement. Okay, that is okay. And what do you think the customer are? The people who purchase your product. Is that all? Youngbyun? What do you think? Is there any other customer?
Excuse me.
Is there any other customer? Right. In this QFD, who is the customer in the application of this QFD? Of course, the person who eventually purchases your product, your company's product, is a customer. That is well said. Are there any other type of customers? Operation? Operator? Yes. And Youngbyun? Engineer. Why engineer is a customer? Anyone has any idea? It is true. You are correct. Anyone? Anyone who use your output is your customer. Let's say in your design process, concept design, economic feasibility test, blah blah blah, everything will take place in sequential manner, but as I mentioned earlier classes, you threw some kind of information over the fence to the other department. If you threw something out, they are your customer. So, if you're the conceptual designer, and if your customer is preliminary designer, you got to know your preliminary designer's needs and wants, and you got to satisfy their needs. Okay? And this will be connected sequentially until it reaches the final product customer. Okay? That is the concept of this total quality management, and it can be well captured by this QFD. And this house of quality is the essence of this QFD. Okay. Based on the lecture note, there is several benefit if you apply or employ this QFD in your process, whatever process is. I mean the design process, operation process, whatever your company's process, if you apply this one, you will experience the following benefits. First one first, what do you think if it will be beneficial if you focus on your customer's voice? Well, first of all, nobody confuses about their mission or jobs. Just satisfy the requirement by your downstream process, which means, in other terms, if the satisfaction level increases, we can say the quality increases. Okay? Think of the quality. What is the quality? What is the quality of your design? Anyone? Any example? Hyunak? Any? You participated in some mobile hub design project throughout the summer, and you made some result. What's the quality of your result? Okay. Customer always wants higher quality product output, even if other conditions are same. But usually, if the higher the quality is, the cost goes up. Okay. What is the quality of your project report? Yep.
Satisfy the needs of the consumer to be better than competitors. If we are better than competitors, and if the consumer is satisfied, then the design is.
Okay. Yep. That's correct. That's correct. Since everything can be said like that, many companies nowadays, it's been quite ago, companies keep saying that customer satisfaction is our mission or goal or something like that. If you don't have any idea about this, why this company wants to satisfy us, but it's for their own good. They want to increase their quality. The more the company can satisfy the customer, we can call this company's quality is higher. The company is competitive compared to other companies, and it will be very much beneficial to their own good. Okay? So benefit of the application of QFD is improvement of quality. Because everybody concerned about the quality, it should be improved. Okay? Let's say your first job is something, and your second job is something, third job is something, fourth job is something, 10th job is something else. The possibility of achieving the first goal is much more higher than possibility of achieving 10th important job. By putting the customer's needs, voices of customers to upfront, then you are increasing the possibility of customer satisfaction. Okay? If this customer satisfaction has higher priority, what will happen to other jobs which doesn't have equal priority or less priority compared to customer satisfaction? If this A job is your highest priority job, then it is natural and straightforward. You put most of the resources to that job. More time, more man hour, more equipment, more space, and other things. That's true. Okay? Then there could be some side effect to that, because you have the limited amount of the resources. So if you put much of your resources to some A job, then B or C or D job will have less amount of resources they usually had, which will be your kind of side effect, downside. But does that make any problem? Anyone? Any problem? Not so much. It's a proven. It's a kind of same question, like asking, are there any more important thing than customer satisfaction in company's job? Not much of a thing. If your company is not a commercial company, or if your organization is government administration, if your organization is military or some special organization, then there might be some other value which is more important than the customer satisfaction. But for the most of the commercial company, customer satisfaction is the top priority in most of the cases. Okay? So basic philosophy of this QFD is identifying the most important thing in your company or in your process, customer satisfaction, voices of customer, and trying to make all other team members throughout very long time of project period and make them keep focusing on your first top priority all the time, systematically. That's the bottom line of this QFD. Okay? But let me ask this question. Sometimes, other than class team project, the usual engineering company's project has much of the complexity, longer time, much more number of engineers, financial organizer, and other many types of people are working together to make one big project. So it is absolutely difficult to make everybody focusing on the same topic or same priority. It's a kind of management job, but however, sometimes conflicts happen. For example, let's say there is a Joshua who works in the financial department, and let's say there is a Daniel who works in engineering department, and for Joshua, saving operation cost is customer satisfaction. Okay? For Daniel, saving project time or increase the accuracy of the, or maybe performance of some mechanical system is the customer satisfaction. But think of that. Increasing performance in most of the time, it costs more money. So Daniel's customer satisfaction actually contradict with Joshua's customer satisfaction, even though they are working in the same project. Then how can you trade off about all among these conflicting interest or conflicting priority? They all just saying that I'm working for the customer satisfaction, I'm working for this company, I'm all for the success of this project, but they are, myopic project goal is always different because their job is different. And actually it's jobs of the management. And by this trade-off analysis, if you choose wrong portion, for example, putting more priority in saving operating cost than increasing the performance of some system, it's a kind of managerial decision, or the jobs of the lead engineer who are in charge of all the project design process. It will affect the final quality eventually of your product or the output of the project. How can you determine how much weight to assign this and that? Any idea? I think you have something to say, Youngkyun. Your face is saying that I have some opinion.
Also, to see the full picture, and when you see the full picture, you can recognize which one is more important. So, increase the A. If you satisfied with the A, it is increasing just 10%. If you satisfied with the B, it will be increasing more than 10%. So if you see the full picture, you can incorporate that, and then you choose
the right one. Okay. Yeah. While in your opinion you mentioned about some concept of sensitivity analysis. If you increase this one a little bit and decrease this one a little bit, what will be the output of the final quality of this project or product? This is one very nice approach, but however, that is usually very, very complex and hard because, think about offshore plant. How many complex goals? I don't know, maybe millions of them. Okay? So there is a little bit more simpler way to do that. That is QFD. It's a kind of more advanced topic, sensitivity analysis. Okay? Simon?
Maybe it's the interaction between all the different subjects, and see what subject is more important and more interaction with the other. This one is the key of the project.
Okay. Yeah, that's good one. That's the kind of key concept of this QFD. You got to list up the kind of parameter. For example, Joshua's reduction of operation cost is some kind of value, like can be represented as a C, variable C. Quality or performance of some mechanical system, Daniel's mechanical system, well, let's call it P, okay? Is this how these two are interrelated? We can determine it by discussion. It would be nice if I said correlation. Okay, it's a mathematical term, but the concept is if C increase, the P tends to increase, right? And which one is good? Larger C or smaller C? If C is the cost, smaller C is the better one. But P, in terms of P, larger P is the better one. But so increasing, make the C better will decrease the quality of P, value of the P. It's kind of opposite correlation. Okay? But sometimes there are many different relationships. For some of the, for example, an automobile, the maximum speed is one of the quality customer wants, and the size of the engine power is one of the quality, for example, of the customer wants. If the engine power increase, it has positive correlation with maximum speed, usually, in most of the time. So there is a positive correlation among the product parameters, and there could be an opposite correlation among product parameters, and for some of the product parameters, they don't affect each other at all. Okay? So the idea is, among many product parameter or your output parameter, identify which one most affect your final quality. Okay? You can assign some values. For automobile, well, I don't know, maybe price is one thing, size, 4 passengers or 6 passenger or something like that, engine size, speed, or maneuverability or something like that. All these things can be a parameter affecting the quality of the final product. Okay? And by some kind of group meeting, and you can assign the priority between which one is the most important by assigning some scores to each of these parameters. And even though there are many parameters with different scores, you can identify positive correlation parameters. If we increase this one, it automatically increasing the other one, which is a kind of a synergetic effect to your quality of the final product. Just focusing on those one first. And then find out the other parameters which does not affect it at all, which does not have any correlation with other thing. And then you can move to which has the negative correlation to other parameters. Okay? Then systematically summarizing all of things, you can qualitatively and quantitatively score your quality of your design. Okay? Okay. Yes. Yep.
How do you know the
Customer satisfaction? It's like this question. Let's narrow down our example into 5-passenger sedan, like a Sonata K5 or something, Grandeur or something like that. The characteristic, or in other words, parameter, which affect customer satisfaction. That's your question, right? Number of tires or something like that it could be a characteristic of that product, right? Or headroom, legroom, drivability, engine power, horsepower of your engine, or maximum speed, all other things, all the characteristic of your product is a parameter defining your product. But you have to choose which one actually affect the customer satisfaction. Because of this is kind of a subjective discussion result, you need integrated product team in building this QFD, House of Quality. If all the engineers are working on this House of Quality, they tend to just focusing on the engineering performance, mechanical performance and the like. It is well said that the shape of a car, the nice curve and colors are higher satisfaction higher effect to the customer satisfaction compared to the direct coefficient in Sonata. Can you understand that? Yep.
We predict the parameter.
Yeah. No, not actually predict. You choose it. But you got to know your customer. Who are your customers first?
Nobody. It's a new product.
Mm-hmm.
There's no customer.
There is forecasted customer. For example, nowadays the Kia Auto company launched a new series of sedan, which is K5 and K7. Okay, it's a Sonata size, if I remember correctly. It's a Grandeur size sedan. When they make a product design team, they first do the market research. Who's going to buy this kind of product? Well, they do their own homework. Maybe mid-30 to early 50 head of household of 4 people, working for the large company, usually work in the urban area, and their income level is this much and this much, their life pattern is this much and this much, and they tend to drive it, and they value the luxury versus more than the cost of the product, and they prefer black color than yellow and orange. Something. They do all this research for the customer. It's a job of marketing department. It's a targeting, they call it. Who are we going to sell our product? And based on this targeting, marketing information, they know which one will mostly affect the quality. Competitive edge. For example, let's say you have enough money and you need a car, sedan, and there is a variety of sedan, Sonata, K5, and what else? Something and something. And which one do you want to choose? If you choose something, you have a very good reason in your choice. Brand power is also very nice, very heavily affect the customer satisfaction as well. So keeping the brand power is, putting lots of money on television commercial to make better brand image. It's not waste of money because it is heavily related to your customer satisfaction. Keeping a best after service quality, it's not, company usually doesn't earn money providing better after service to the product, but they are doing for their own good because it will affect your choice of product. Okay? However, you need to measure, the trade-off, those kind of things. For example, once company has targeted some possible potential customer group, and you can list up all the important things to the choice of their, to affect the customer's choice, shape, comfort, suspension system, and all these parameters are mixed together. Some are very subtle, meaning not engineering parameter. Some are the engineering parameter. Some are financial parameter. Some are just brand images or something like that. All this cultural thing could be inside of this your product parameter, which affect the quality of the satisfaction of the customer. And not a single person can measure them each other. How can you measure brand power versus engine displacement or something like that? That's why the cross-functional team, integrated product team, is very important. And that's why the very effective communication with other disciplines, people with different disciplines is very important. You got to have some kind of ability to discuss about the MBAs if you're an engine designer or something, as well as the brand image manager, as well as the, I don't know, someone who has some cultural technology or something like that. Okay? If they are this kind of intermediate, integrated team or cross-functional team doesn't work well, they choose wrong combination of parameters which will alleviate to direct hit of the customer satisfaction, so they tend to make up a little bit weird product. Anyone has any experience, or anyone want to share about a very weird product? What do you think of, I think all of you may have or once had MP3 player. Do you know who invented and first sell this MP3 player in the world? No, they are not the first. It's a Korean company. Sehan Media. Yeah. Nobody remembers. Who cares? It's not successful. But key technology for the, converting your music into MP3 format and put those things into memory, and very, replacement of the Walkman or Discman or something like that is their idea. But everybody's think about Apple first when they hear MP3 player. Why? Because they hit the wrong market. Okay? Technology is not that different. What's the difference in MP3 playing, technology? They are using same Samsung semiconductor here and in Apple's MP3 player as well. Okay? So, it's one very sad example of not keeping the voices of customers. Okay? Anyone else? Any other cases? Yes.
Yes. The same thing on iPad.
Yes.
The first constructor was a French producer. 3 years ago, but nobody knows about this one. And iPad is very successful.
Okay. Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah. Do you know any other example? There are lots of examples out there, and I'm the subscriber of this Harvard Business School's Harvard Business Review, and those MBAs and businessmen are really good at catching and analyzing those, why this product failed, why this product is so successful, and the like, and because it's a problem of survival or not survive, or it's a problem of making money or not. So it's darn important. And as you know, our department's mission and goal is to educate the lead engineer who can take care of overall project. not just buried in the very detail one single tiny part of the project and do those jobs. We need to raise lead engineer who can do this one. Think of a Sonata. Do you think it has the best engines in Korean market? Maybe not. But because those engine is not that important in overall customer satisfaction, it's the combination of your design parameter, not one single. Everybody can say that, oh, engine is the heart of the automobile and it's most important. That is the old story. Okay, combination, appropriate combination of putting priority is the most important thing. Okay. Okay, let's resume. For the exercise, let's design a captain's cup. Captain's cup, it's just another cup, but it is for the captains. I mean, who maneuvers the small yachts. If you own a yacht and you play maneuvering this yacht weekends, and it is a very, very kind of natural. You want to enjoy a cup of coffee while playing around on your ship, on your yacht. But there is some big limitation because your ship is constantly moving because of waves. It's floating on the water. So it should be different from normal mug cup, coffee cup. There is other requirement. Customer wants to have it. And your marketing team identify that, there is some market. If you can make a nice captain's cup, which can hold a lot of coffee and easy to handle and not easily spill over, and has even though the surface, your table or deck surfaces are moving, it will not easily tip over. That is a kind of marketing team's output, and you are part of the integrated product team, and you are to make a conceptual design of captain's coffee cup. That's your problem statement. So first thing first, this is the typical template of the house of quality. The reason they call this is house is that because it looks like a house. It's a roof and some rectangular boxes out there, so it looks just like a house. There are no other reason. It is house of quality. But please note that it is not the only template available for the QFD. There are variety of types of house of quality. As I mentioned in previous session, as long as you identify customers' requirement and as long as you correlate the product quality, product characteristic and their correlation among them and their importance and priority, you can make your own template. But it is the most famous old type template. Okay. The detailed explanation, you can find it, the handout, the quality of house, the house of quality, and it works like that. It is very good for this kind of product development, but if you are into other category, like a process development or something like that, you may need a different form. But anyway, that's the basic form. It has major part, roof, this side, and this side, and main body. this side covers customer needs, the demand, customer requirement. In our template, it's a demanded quality, or what customer wants, or it depends on the template. Some template write it as voices of customers, something like that. And this part will write down the quality characteristic, or product characteristic, or quality parameter, or your product parameter, or something like that. It's a very similar concept with functional requirement in axiomatic design and design parameter in axiomatic design. Okay, but meaning is, wording is a little bit different. This roof part, it's a triangular shape because they are supposed to record the correlation between each other. For example, there is one characteristic, and what's its relationship with the other characteristic? Well, relation with this one and this one will be recorded here. This one and this one will be recorded here, and the like. Okay? You can write down the positive correlation, very strong positive relation, or neutral, negative correlation, very strong negative correlation, and the like. Okay? There are several levels. You can just choose the 3 levels: positive, neutral, negative, or 5 levels: strongly positive, positive, neutral, negative, strongly negative, or you can elaborate into more than 7 or 11 or and the like. It's up to you. And according to template, it is different from template to template. There is one more section here because sometimes it is not that straightforward to understand other disciplines' value. For example, cost. Is it better if the C cost is larger? Maybe not. But engine power, is it better if the value is larger? Yes. So, but sometimes, because it's for the cross-functional team, they have some template had another section including this parameter, the better the larger value is, plus up. This parameter, the better the value is lower, something like that. And according to this template, it's a direction of improvement. Minimize the better, maximize the better, and the like. It's another. So there could be many different house of quality thing. Okay, let's do it one by one. It's a cup, so it is not that easy to just, well, it will be used on a yacht and it should not tip over, and it should hold lots of coffee because on yachts environment, it's a big, they usually need a big shop and the like into this category. So basically, we just write down what would be the customer requirement based on the cross-functional teams discussion. And my example is kind of that. Sometimes it could be mixed with this one and that one. Okay? There is no clear cut between this functional requirement and customer design parameter. So, first one, well, it should not tip over. How we can retranslate it? Stability, or sometimes, because engineers, we call it's one of the customer's requirement. Height of center of gravity, percentage from the bottom, percentage relate to the, could be a percentage. If your height is 100%, what would be the height of the center of gravity? It could be a percentage. It's one of the customer requirement. the lower the better, because the lower center of gravity, it is not easy to tip over, right? And customer wants to a large one, so I don't know, but maybe it's they want to have bottom area larger the better. And it could be a volume. Larger the better? Not really. It is some sweet spot about this value. Sorry, meter square, meter. And if it has and the customer wants the easy to grab one. So handle size, or because even though the ship is moving, they do not want to spill the copies, so it is customer's need. Cover, yes or no? And if you put this coffee cup on the deck, if it's tipped over, they do not want this sliding down, even though it's not tipping over. So they said bottom friction is important. And they said also weight is important. They want to have a very light when it's empty. Weight. And they want to keep the heat of the coffee longer. So we want insulation. I don't know if there is some kind of insulation coefficient or something like that, but it is insulation. Okay. It differs from time to time, but usually they call just, without the overall systematic single design, they just want to state their dream, because it's a cross-functional design team. If engineer said, I want this much amount of horsepower from this engine, then the financial department will not have any opinion or something like that before they are cross-checking each other. So let's say their target value. Target value, I don't know, but maybe it's 30% from the bottom area. Well, let's say it's a millimeter, scale millimeter. 800, they say. Handle size, millimeter, 100. Volume, it's up too much of this unit. Let's say it's a liter. Volume, well, 0.3 liter or something. It's a target, dream value, without considering other correlations. Covered, yes. Target value, yes. Bottom friction coefficient, 1.0 is the best one. Am I right? Really? Anyway, weight, let's say it's a gram. So comfortable weight of a coffee cup is, I don't know, maybe 400 gram or something. Insulation coefficient, insulation value, I don't know, but let's say there is a 10 scale, 1 to 10. and they call 10 is kind of, you know, this vacuum thermal vessel. So let's say it's about 5 of the insulation level, something. Okay. According to your template, you are just waiting. You are supposed to weight the importance of among these customer needs. So, but as Gustav asked the question in the class, it is totally subjective. It's a discussion out of this cross-functional team. Well, let's assume that among our discussion, we call, well, let's keep focusing on the 1 to 10 scale. 10 is most important, 1 is less important. It's just arbitrary. Weight, this is about weight of 8.5 something. Bottom area, not that important. 5. Volume, right amount of volume is important. 7. Handle size is important. 7.5. Cover, it's a darn important. 9. Bottom friction, I don't know, maybe 6. Weight, not so important. 4.5. Insulation, I don't know, maybe 6 or something. Okay? The decision of this number should be the output of team discussion. Okay? Let's assume that you now weighted each of your customers' requirement, then can you make this relative weight? Can you? Relative weight. How can you calculate the relative weight? Anyone? Yep.
Maybe it's the weight divided by the sum of all the parts.
Right. Simple. Do the summation of this value. Anyone has calculator? Let's say the summation is S, then relative weight of this one is 8.5 over S. If it is ugly, like a 0.0 something like that, you can make a adjustment because relativity is the important information. So you can multiply 10 or 100 if you want. It's a relative weight, nothing special. Same thing. So by watching this relative weight, you can now have some kind of systematic information how much important this one is or something like that. Okay? Question so far? Yep. Yeah, could be because I said there are numerous type of templates. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes we all know what the cup is. Okay? It has some, I don't know, usually cylindrical shape and handles, and it has openings, and it's capable of holding some liquid. So we can easily imagine the cup. But sometimes for some specific product, it is not that easy. For example, let's design XXYYZ. Can you imagine the target value? No. If you're designing a really unpre-existing design, then you cannot have this one because you don't have any experience of using those products. It's really hard. So that's gone. Okay? It's up to you, up to the process, or up to the design product design, something. Okay, these are just one example. You don't have to follow this one. Well, for example, if we have a very little information of the product, well, we may erase this target value, and we can say the height of center of gravity because we all can imagine the cup in our heads. But what if this cup is totally new to us? We don't have any idea at all what the cup is. Just assume that. Then we cannot say this much about information about customer requirement. Okay? Okay, let's go back to that example. Then we have a little information, like as I mentioned, cup is some device in holding a liquid. So customer requirement holds a lot. It is just okay. It's a customer requirement. And it should be stable, not tipping over. And it should be durable. If you drop it, if it breaks, it's bad. So maybe durable. And it should be cheap or what else? Cheap is not a good word. Well, this kind of thing also makes sense. It should looks good. Okay? Customer requirement. It should be light, not heavy. And no splash of the liquid, splash less. And easy to hold. Let's assume we don't have any idea about the cup is. It's a totally brand new product of mankind. Well, but anyhow, we are successful to derive this kind of customer requirement. No target value, but anyway, based on the team discussion, we can weight it and calculate the relative weight like this. Okay, question? Okay, based on that, we may have, by some engineers or other domain-specific expert can brought up some kind of parameter. For example, they may bring up 3 different designs. For example, just simple cup like this, or very taller cup, larger cup, and some cup with covers, and this shape of hole. It's a kind of brainstorming process. Once you identify this customer requirement, you rely on your imagination and make up any sketches. That is just idea evaluation, brainstorming process. While doing this, you can now have a little bit concrete idea of what our product will look like. And based on that, you can now fill out some information here. Well, I don't know about the cup, what the cup is, but it has a weight because it's a material. So, one of the product characteristic may be weight, and height is also another information. And maybe bottom area, top area, and it is strongly recommended to assign a unit as long as possible. Weight, maybe gram, height, millimeter, area, square millimeter, and durability. Well, I don't know, maybe it is related with material. Volume, insulation thickness, existence of cover. You can just brought up this kind of one in your brainstorming, just free imaginative process. And insulation material, and height of center of gravity, percentage of height, or something like that. Now you write down all product characteristics you can think of a cup. And next step is to identify the correlation between each other. The sign is different from template to template. According to this one, there is many things. Strong relationship, or strong relationship, strong, moderate, weak, or something like that. It's up to you. Strong positive, strong negative, it's just as long as it can indicate the correlation between this one, it is just fine. Or you can just assign a value. For example, 1 is strong negative, 9 is strong positive, and 4 is neutral or something like that. As long as you keep consistently with your scale, that's fine. So for example, do you have any parameter which has some kind of relationship with weight? Material, of course, material. They are positive or negative. It could be confusing. So that's why they introduce one more thing here. Weight, less is better. Material, I don't know. Okay? So, weight, if material, but anyway, let's assume that this is a kind of strong correlation between each other. How about height? The higher, it will be heavier. So, but so a little bit weak than that, Bottom area, maybe. Top area, maybe. Material, volume, weight. Not really. Okay? Because you're only thinking of this empty cup. Or insulation thickness, maybe, and the like. You can fill out all this loop part of this house of insulation. Okay? And the purpose of this loop part is you can identify the strong positive correlation while determining the things. Okay. The next step is you can you are to populate this body part. The relationship between customer requirement and design parameter. For example, holds a lot. It is determined by height, weight, not really. Bottom area, top area, material, no. Volume, very strong. Insulation thickness, not really. Cover, no. Insulation material, no. Not really. Stable, very strongly here. And you can do your homework here. Okay? Any questions so far? You can populate it by also team discussion. Okay. The next thing is do we have enough time for that? Okay. We will resume this part on next class because I need some more time, and we have 5 minutes left, and I need to talk about the team project here. So we will continue on building this house of quality in next class. Yep. So please read the handout until next class. It will explain almost everything. Okay?